Hello guys, this is Rubykaursingh. Alrighty. So let's talk today about wholesaling. Okay, we talked a little bit previously in the previous sections about wholesaling, but let's talk about wholesaling in details today. Okay, for those of you, you know, who haven't uh, heard about wholesaling from my previous videos, please go back and listen to those. Um, so you, just to simply need to you can refresh wholesaling what it involves as an investor and how putting into a contract or a property for below market value, then finding a buyer to buy the contract, you know is called a simultaneous closing. uh, we That's in video number 2. So please go back and I explained all that in that video, for how they can put that into contract and then go into higher price and for fee. Another option is for wholesale is to buy the property outright, then quickly sell it. Okay. The wholesaler uses a purchase and a sale agreement, also known as purchase contract, sale contract, or agreement of sale, which states that purchase price and terms of the purchase. Wholesaling can often be one of the faster way to make money in real estate. Sometimes it takes just a you know few hours, which is why some investor center their business in their strategy, although many still include other type of real estate investments as well. In order to be successful, you need to learn how to find these wholesale properties, how to find these great deals, how to you know before these it goes even hit on MLS or just going into general public, finding out about it, before it hits MLS, um, which is where a professional, can help you, or you can do your own research and find these properties. So expert in the wholesaling can also help you throughout the whole process. It typically it's a whole which is called a real estate transaction. So sometimes this process doesn't work if you don't have the buyer. um, so you need to make sure you got a throughout thorough database complete with the buyer name, contact info, or the property preferences, what they are looking for. Um, what is the wholesale process? The wholesale process is it's a good news. Okay, it's that um, anyone can be a wholesaler. Anyone. Okay, you don't need a you know any license or anything like that. You don't need to worry about getting a license or be a real estate license holder. Anybody can be a wholesaler. There's no license required, although knowing real estate transactions work can be helpful, and you guys are most welcome to ask me questions in the comment section, and I can definitely help you guys answer those questions, any questions you might have. Another advantage involve working with finding MLS properties online. Okay. um, and then or the companies that are open to wholesaling process. Not all companies are. Okay, so each company has a different requirement for all the parties involved, right? uh, I can educate you on that. As I said, I have years of experience. I can help you with all your questions. Any questions you might have in the comment section, just send me, and then I try to answer all my questions. So what is like finding the right properties when I'm helping my clients look for properties, okay, to wholesale, there's a specific number to keep in mind: 70. Um, and buyers, uh, think flippers, tend to want to pay like 70% of what they can get once the house is fixed up, or when they are ready to flip the house. We're talking about flipping the house, right? Uh, as an investor. So fixed up resale value, which is repair, wholesale fee, max offer you should make. For example, if you want to make like 7,000 on a home, that should be about worth like 125,000. 125,000 uh, ultimately resale value would be around 50,000 repair, around 7,000 for wholesale fee. So max offer should be around 103. Okay, you have to deduct your repairs and stuff too, and the wholesale fee, because of course you have to pay those fees. If you work through a formula that and deal seem to be possible, it's time to see the house in person. Of course, there's usually unexpected expenses that come up for renovations, but by seeing the property for yourself, you'll be able to get the better estimate about potential repair. I definitely recommend don't buy any property without looking into it. Okay, that way you know how much it's gonna cost for the repairs, and then how much it will be fees, and then what offer you should recommend. After you've done this, rework the formula, then figure out on offer. It's often advantageous to offer less than your max offer, right? So there's a room to negotiate if needed, right? Because if you maybe um, even get it for the right price, which means more money in your pocket. Okay, you have to consider closing. Before I continue, it's important to understand what exactly happens during closing. Let me explain that to you guys. The buyer signs closing documents, including papers that allow the money to be released to the seller, which will help within a few days. Then the seller sign the deed over to the buyer. Okay. Um, Let me say that again so you understand properly. The buyer sign, they sign the closing documents at the escrow company, um, including papers that allow the money to be released to the seller, which is all your ducks are in row, your loan is already good to go. Uh, so usually it happens within 2 days, few days. Okay. The seller signed the deed over to the buyer. The buyer get the title insurance policy. This proves that the property title is legal. Finally, the county records. Okay, county record office, it will record the deed, right, and the other pertinent documents it needed, to put you as that you are the buyer of the new property. One option for wholesaling is assigning the contract. Okay, what do you mean by assigning the contract, Ruby? Well, in this process, you never actually buy the property, although you do put down an earnest money deposit, also not only is the seller aware that you are selling the property to someone else, but they also know who that is and what your profit is. That's called assigning the contract. Okay, because uh, you are not the buyer of the property. Okay, you just put down as EMD, your earnest money deposit. Also, not only is the seller aware that you are selling the property to someone else, but they will also know uh, what that is and what your profit is. The contract with the seller will state your name. However, it will also say and or assigns. Okay, let me say that again. The contract with the seller will state your name. However, it will also say and or assign for buyer. You also assign the contract with the buyer, which means the buyer assumes all the contractual obligations, not just the purchase price. This contract states your assignment fee, you letting the buyer know your profit as well. Okay. So one benefit to the process is that assignment fee isn't used for closing costs. All right. So your profit will be exactly what is written in the contract. Okay. And it's right there, truthful, it's in front of everybody. Okay. You say how it is. One possible downside is that you are relying on the buyer and the seller to address any problems along the way and to officially close on the deal. You get paid at or after closing. So it can be stressful waiting for that to happen, especially since sometimes deals do fall through. Okay. Sometimes it's like you're just crossing the finger, oh please, make sure the deal closed. But sometimes all the work is done, excuse me, and then at the end the deal falls through. You have no legal recourse that it will happen, but it happens. However, if you know your buyer, your risk can be significantly mitigated. Alrighty. Um, Another wholesale option is to double closing. Okay. All right, Ruby. What is that? Well, it's also known as simultaneous closing or back-to-back closing. This process involves two contracts generally signed on the same day, sometimes with a mere 20 minutes between the closing. The first is the seller selling to you, the A to B transaction, in which you or your company's name is put on the title. Okay. The second contract involves you selling it to the buyer. That is called the B2C transaction. This transaction, that's the second transaction, typically pays for the first, which means you don't have to put any of your own money into purchasing the property because the attorney already has the money for the B2C transaction, right? Or your escrow company has already, they have the money. Um, it's clear that A to B transaction will happen, so that B2C typically takes place. Okay. Um, because it's the first the seller selling it to you, which is called A to B, and then you, uh, you know, your name will be on the title, and the second contract will involve you will be selling it to the new buyer, which is B2C transaction. That's the second transaction. Typically, it pays um, for which, I mean, you don't have to put money, but the B2C transaction is clear that because they are dealing with the escrow company or the transaction is dealing with the attorney. So this will happen. Okay, that's how it typically takes place. So neither party actually will know your profit. So this is the best option if you rather keep, you know, downside. You have to pay closing cost both when you buy it and when you sell it. So your total profit might be lower. Okay. There are a few important points to keep in mind with both type of transaction. First is if you're, agent, or you often assign the contract because you are cutting, working out with the broker. If you not an agent, you can put the deal together by yourself also. You, as I said, for the wholesaling, for the investments, you really don't need, um, you know, to have an agent write these. You can put these deals together by yourself, and then you know you can also, if you want, you can have hire the agent and commission, pay them commission, or fees, commission to write these contracts for you. So as for a double closing investors, um, uh, it need to be careful. Depending on the mechanics, it might be that the investor is essentially doing what an agent would do, okay, which could be viewed as, sometimes investor isn't licensed, so sometimes they don't see as a legal, but it's important that you clear on all laws of your state, that you bring, it professionally as a professional investor. Finally, if agent is, involved, um, they must disclose this. Okay, this is because theoretically there could be a, legal issues also. Finding the buyer for these wholesale properties is very important. Okay, because like in previous video, as I said, if you haven't watched those videos yet, you might have to go back and listen to those, because that's from the beginning. I'm explaining step by step of investment, how to get into uh, investments, or being, all the, it's a thorough guide of for the investors who are, either starting or they want to know a little bit more, brush up their skills. So that's, I already mentioned that, but I want you to be clear. Okay, the key to successful wholesaling is having a solid list of potential buyers that you can trust, or without them you might find yourself stuck with the property you don't want. Okay, your buyer will mostly likely to be the other investors, including flippers. We call that in the investment world, investors world. Those are flippers, wholesalers, or rental investors. Just keep in mind that people who own rental properties often don't want to do major repairs. Okay, this is why it's crucial to know exactly what your buyers are looking for. The more you know, the more likely you'll find the right buyer quickly, which means the process is more likely to go smoothly. Also, it can't hurt to have a potential, buyer backup offers, just in case sometime unexpected happens and these offers fell through, or they cannot, qualify for the loan, or for income, or something happens, or they lose a job, or something happens. Okay, so how do you build your list? Okay, there are several options. You can search the internet for properties. Then you can reach out to anyone to who has rentals, or rental listings, or purchase listing for rent or lease options. Okay. Network. You can, post on to social media, email, to your friends or family, or reach out to your profession related professionals, um, you know, fellow investors or agents or lawyers or brokers, mortgage brokers, financial planners, CPAs, let them know also. If you can also go more, uh, you can go to traditional network events. Then number three is search the newspaper for ads for people paying cash for houses. If you already know hard money lenders, ask them if they or others they know are interested in buying. Call the number on the by your people who buy the houses for cash. Okay, what they are looking for. So those are could be a good potential business, buyers and business relationship. So join in all related investments and real estate groups, um, who can find whether it's online or in person, whether you make a new contact, connect with them quickly, learn exactly what they are looking for, and stay in touch. Even if you don't have a property that fit their needs at that moment, a trusting relationship is just as important as a good deal. You know, in in everything we know that trust is number one. It takes years to build, and that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Okay. So that's very important. Um, Keep in mind that while a good list of important, sometimes all you need are a few investors to make your wholesale, lending success. That that way you also have a people who want uh, the kind of properties you find. One potential obstacle to overcome, let me explain that to you too, is that many investors will want to work. Okay, they want to work only with the wholesalers who have the experience. If you've been doing this for a while, be sure to have a portfolio that you can, you know, that you've been working, and you can talk to them about that. This can also be like, your all your deals, your past or present, website deals. It's immediate, it's immediate clear that you are a serious wholesaler, you're serious about wholesaling, and then you can count on these good deals. Okay, finding a good deal. So let's talk about cash buyers. Okay, what is cash buyer, and the advantages of cash buyers? In an ideal world, okay, you always work with cash buyers. Why would be when you can get a loan? The reason is because the process tend to go more smoothly and quickly, which means you get the money in your hand faster and with less stress. But that's not all. When you get a cash offer, you don't have to pay closing, costs. You don't have to worry about realtors' commissions. You don't have to worry about realtors and brokers' fees, and you don't have to deal with, you know, all the bank's BS and red tapes and refusals, um, to, buyer's loans, all of that. In addition, the cash buyers, particularly those who are investors themselves, are often willing to buy the property as is, so you won't have to spend any money to fixing things up. Buyers' cash might come from their own bank accounts. They might also have obtained a HELOC or home. Okay, let me explain that. What is HELOC? That some of you might don't know. HELOC is a home equity line of credit. That's called HELOC. Okay, that's on your home. It's a used as a or you used as a self-directed IRA. Okay, um, you can, HELOC is a home line equity line of credit. You can also use the self-directed IRA. You can use a private lender. You can use a hard money lender, um, or other investors. Okay, or even a loan from the bank that works with the investors. Now all banks work with the investment properties. Okay, these loans are closed in most sometime I see that sometimes it's in within 2 weeks, okay, making them close enough to cash to count for these purposes. One important thing to keep in mind is that you need to do your due diligence, okay, to make sure the cash buyer is legitimate. um, you know that's you have to do your research, okay guys. That's I'm saying that over and over, but that's for your own protection, because as I said, in this world there are good guys and there are bad too, who take advantage of other people's naiveness, or their innocence, that they don't know. But these people, they come and take advantage, and that's why I'm trying to make you guys aware. That's why I try to you know put this education out there for you guys, so you guys don't get burned. Okay, and I'm telling you, the reason is I'm telling you from experience. Okay, because there are people out there who do take advantage of other people. Okay, so you make sure that you research that, you research the buyer, you research the company, you work, who you want to work with. Okay, make sure you talk to the person, uh, on the phone, and just don't buy anything without looking into, without researching. Okay, ideally to also I would say, meet them in person. Okay, that way you know what kind of, if this is the right, just don't believe what they say. So so do your diligence, guys. Okay, that's for your own protection, and I'm so sorry I'm saying that over and over, but that's just for your own protection. um, So, and what sometimes real buyers don't want to see the house themselves before purchasing. This can also, you know, it's a red flag. It's could be, uh, scammers. There, as I said, there are people like that. So, so listen to your gut. Sometimes when we are new to any experience, we don't know, right? Because it's a new experience. But sometimes, over and over and over, your guts will let you know. But again, being new or being naive, sometimes you just brush it off, that you know the the voice on back of your mind is trying to uh, aware you that something is not right here. But it's we all are humans. Okay, that's all I can say. So make sure you listen to your gut, you do your research, you do your diligence, on anything you are planning to invest into. And if you have, as I said, I'm here for you guys. um, I just want to make sure that there is a awareness out there, uh, so you don't have to go through what I've been through. Okay. um, Believe me, for years, this comes with the years of experience. um, so I'm trying to bring that awareness out there to the world and to you guys. Okay, hope this helped you guys. Okay, so another thing is, I'm sure that you sometime you wonder that how you get these cash buyers, Ruby. you know there are few places you can look. The best place is to, as I said, you use your local uh, network, right? um, you can also let your other professionals who, like, lawyers or CPA or attorneys or you know um, accountant, let them know also that that's what you're looking for. You have a property and you want to sell it, and if they know anyone. Okay. Also, you can ask hard money lenders, and sometimes you can also ask agents too, if they can connect you with any cash buyers, if they know anyone. But as I said, agents actually, they work on a commission, so and fees too. Okay. um, so in addition, you can look for investors sometimes in classified ads also, in a newspaper. Okay, you can also have seen those signs, like in a billboard style, advertising. You might see that sometimes it says, oh, we buy homes, or we buy ugly homes, or we buy home as is. You can talk to those people also. Okay, that you have a house and they might know anyone that they are interested. So in general, it pay considerable less, um, than these companies. They pay considerable less. So it's best to look for, if you are looking for a cash buyer individual, at your own, and you do the work, and that's how you can you know keep your cash buyer and list, and talk to them every time you have the property in mind. And if they, these cash buyers, sometimes they are um, living, they are also looking into investment properties. um, so talk to them. All right, guys. Again, this is RubykSingh with the Real Estate New School. Um, we will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Take care. Thank you. Bye.